Why do you YouTube? That's a weird question. You know, it's come up a couple of times. Some people, when they're asked this, they give whatever reason. You know, some YouTube because they want to be famous. They want to get all these views and make a lot of money. Some do it simply because they can. Some do it because it's a way of making a living where jobs don't want to hire. So, why do I do it? You know, it goes back to when I began here on YouTube. When I started YouTube, I just had my own little sign-in. I would watch other people's content, and then one day I said to myself, you know what? I want to try and do this. The only problem was I didn't have really a camera to do any of it. And by the time I did have a camera, it was off of a Nintendo 3DS. I didn't always have the camera that a lot of people may have. I don't even have a camera that a lot of people have even to this very day in the common day. I started out recording by putting the chair from my kitchen table in the living room in front of the TV, and I would take these two really big boxes, you know, that had my computer stuff back when computer monitors were huge as all, really just huge, and I would put them in the seat. Then I would place my Nintendo 3DS right there on top of the second box, center it right there in front of the TV, get the zoom right, and then I'd hit record for 10 minutes because that's how long I had. You know, when I started doing this, I figured, let me get my shot at it. So it goes to show you that when you start out with something as amateur as a 3DS to do recording, and then you move up to whatever camera that you'll have to help you out, it shows evolution. But in any case, I YouTube for 3 reasons. I probably mentioned this in some of the videos that I have on my channel, but I'm simply going to say them again, simply because these are the 3 reasons why I do it. The third reason why I YouTube is because I like doing this. You know, I like setting up the camera in front of the TV, playing this video game or whatever it is, or doing a survey, whatever I do, and just talk and game and upload for all of you. I like this, you know. YouTube was kind of like a way to mellow out from the stresses and problems of the world, you know. Growing up, one of the biggest killers in my teenage years, and probably in the teenage years for a lot of people, is peer pressure. You know, peer pressure is what makes or breaks a teenager from the, well, even before being a teenager, from being a tweenager. So anywhere from 5th grade to the end of high school, peer pressure will either be your greatest strength, or it'll be the worst Achilles heel that you'll ever have as a person. You know? And to just go to YouTube and watch content, you know, was like an escape. You know, playing video games, that has been my anti-drug. It's kept me from drinking, it's kept me from smoking, it's kept me from doing bad drugs. You know, a lot of people, they look at me, they sit over there and they wonder, oh, he's got his video game console or a pocket console and he's gaming. Why is he doing that? Well, hey, that's what's kept me on the narrow. other than, you know, the usual studies. But it's something I like to do, you know. When I uploaded my very first video, it was, in a sense, something that I like to do, but it was also as a way of telling someone that this one thing is possible, even when you think it isn't. Well, I got news for you. Not only is it possible to do it, but I'm going to show you just how possible it is and prove you wrong with facts. You know? And I like doing it. Now, you may look at a lot of things that are on my channel. You're more than welcome to. I hope that you do, and I appreciate it that you do. And you'll say, there's a lot of old school or retro or throwback content. Well, that just goes to the second reason. There are a lot of things in the gaming world, as someone who creates content for gaming on YouTube, that a lot of gamers nowadays, they didn't really get the chance to enjoy or play. You know, a good example is Pokemon. A lot of today's Pokemon trainers, you know, they're used to either black or white to Alpha and Omega, which is out right now, you know, and then the original Red, Blue, and Yellow were released as digital downloads. You know, they never really got the pleasure, some of them, if not most of them, never really got the pleasure of having the old big fat Game Boy that took the 4 AA batteries and just playing Pokemon. You know, going to school on recess or on lunch and trading with their friends, or going to the library during lunch. Trade Pokemon or battle Pokemon with their friends. That's fine. You know, that's what I did. It's something I'll continue to do. I take my portables anywhere. You know, I leave it with the house full charge, walk around. It's something I like to do. And I play the old school games, you know, like Kirby Star Stacker, Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby's Dream Land 2, you know, these things. Games that a lot of people probably didn't get the chance to play. You know, not a lot of people actually got the chance to play the original Diddy Kong Racing. Not everybody was into Contra. It was before their time. You know, I'll play it, post it on the channel to show all of you guys, well, this is what we had in those days. It wasn't all the great graphics that you see on Xbox One or 360 or P4. You know, they weren't the greatest graphics, but it was enjoyable. Sure, it's throwback. Sure, it's retro. Sure, it's old school. But there's a saying, you have to know where you came from to know where you're going. It works not just in gaming and playing video games, and even making or creating video games or content, even on YouTube, but in real life as people grow up. You know, to give them a sense of what it was like back in the day. You know, it's weird, but when you think of it, you do it because somebody has to. And you know, if the fates have chosen me to do these things, to show others about the stuff that was before their time and what was it like, and I have the will and the patience and the know-how to do it, then yeah, I'll do it. Somebody has to, right? And I guess that someone is me. So now we get to the main reason why. And I stand by this one more than getting players of this day to appreciate the days of the past, or even as much as I like it. You know, when I was growing up with the video game console or whatever it was, whether it was a movie on tape, a video game in cartridge format, disc format, whatever, you know, I was always the one that brought a sense of entertainment wherever I went. You know, it's like my very first Nintendo 64 game was Super Smash Brothers, and I had that game before I even had my Nintendo 64. I had my own Nintendo 64 controller, even before I even had my own Nintendo 64, where I bought it with my own money that I saved up. You know, it was a game that my friends, they had the console for it. I'd go over their house. I'd be like, hey, can I play too? I brought my own controller. They would look at each other and they're like, alright, go ahead. You know, I would introduce a new game to them, one that they don't have but I do, and it entertains them. The main reason why I do what I do on my channel is simply to entertain anyone and everyone who wishes to view what I have on my channel. It's not about being famous. If I had a choice on fame, on what side or what stands to be on fame, I would rather be infamous over famous, because when you look at famous people now, famous people, they have a lot of problems and they aren't really appreciated until they're dead. But an infamous person is remembered even after they draw their last breath for what they do. More times than not, infamous people entertain others. And at the end of the day, if I can get just one person out there, boy, girl, whatever you designate yourself, if it's only one person that hits up my channel and watches whatever content that I have on this channel, whether it be an episode of a game I'm playing, whether it be a survey that I answer, whether it be something I do for kicks, whether it be a musical interlude. If I was to lose all of my subscribers except for one, and would have only that one subscriber who would come by my channel day in after day after day, in and out for the rest of their lives, and I couldn't get any more subs or any more views or comments or likes or whatever, if that was just one person, only one person, that would come and find some kind of entertainment, some kind of escape from the daily grind, the daily hell that life gives them, then that's a win in my book. I'm not doing this to be famous. I'm not doing this to be a popular sensation. I'm not doing this to become an internet celebrity, a YouTube celebrity. If it happens, it happens. More power to me. More power to the powers that be. But I post what I post to entertain people. Whether you laugh at it, whether you cry over it, whether you disagree with anything that I say, and you're more than welcome to, or whether you listen to what I say and it makes you think, then I've done my job. Sure, this is something I like to do. Sure, it's something to do with stuff from the days of old that some of the new schoolers out there now can have a chance to appreciate or depreciate. But mainly, it's to entertain whoever, whomever, whether he, she, it, they, them, or otherwise. If you find entertainment in anything when it comes to my content on my channel, then I've done my job. And that is why I, 3 Hellgear YouTube,